In the landscape of relationships, we often find ourselves at the crossroads of passion and panic, love and misunderstanding. Today, I want to share a story that beautifully encapsulates this duality, a narrative that, while unique, may resonate with many of us who have navigated the choppy waters of romantic connections. I met someone truly amazing. He was everything I had hoped for in a partner. Romantic, honest, clear in his communication. He made an effort to spend time with me, and our intimacy was deeply fulfilling. But relationships, like life, are subject to the unforeseen, and soon enough, we encountered our first major challenge. He received some devastating news. His father was diagnosed with cancer. Understandably, he retreated into his shell, becoming distant. Concerned, I reached out, asking how I could support him during this difficult time. I offered to cook for him, to help around the house, anything that might ease his burden. But he wanted to be alone, a request I respected, giving him the space he asked for. However, the situation took a darker turn when he sent me a message that left me cold with fear. He said he was having a really hard time, that he was tired of this world and didn't want to live anymore. Panic set in. I called him repeatedly, but my calls went unanswered. I sent messages, but they were met with silence. In a state of sheer alarm, I did what I thought was necessary. I went to his house, but no one answered the door. I was terrified, imagining the worst. What if he had harmed himself? Could I live with the guilt of not acting when perhaps I could have made a difference? I left him a message to let him know I had been there, that I was worried about him. The response I received the next morning was not what I expected. He found it strange that I had come to his house, especially when he had asked for solitude. He told me he wasn't ready for a relationship or anything that it entailed and hoped I would understand. I replied that I respected his decision and wished him the best, but inside I was a turmoil of confusion and concern. It's difficult not to question my actions. He had sent me a message that, to me, was a cry for help. In my mind, there was no other option but to ensure he was safe. Yet, his response suggested that my actions were not only unwelcome, but also a breach of the space he had requested. This has left me pondering the delicate balance between respecting someone's need for solitude and acting on genuine concern for their well-being. In relationships, we're often guided by our emotions, our fears, and our desires to do right by those we care about. But this experience has made me wonder, where do we draw the line? When does our involvement become an intrusion? It's a difficult question, one that may not have a straightforward answer. As I reflect on this experience, I can't help but feel lost in the gray areas of human connection. Did I make a mistake? Was there a better way to express my concern without crossing boundaries? Or was my reaction a natural response to what seemed like a desperate situation? I share this story not to find justification for my actions, but to open a dialogue about the complexities of caring for someone deeply, especially in times of crisis. It's a reminder that relationships require not just love and affection, but also an understanding of boundaries, even when every instinct tells us to blur those lines out of concern and fear. So I turn to you, my viewers, for your insights and perspectives. Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation, torn between the urge to intervene and the need to respect someone's wishes? How do you navigate these challenging waters without losing yourself or the ones you love in the process? But it's through sharing these experiences that we can perhaps learn to better navigate the complexities of the heart. So, let's talk about it.